Ronan's back, slicing through the noise with a culture attack. Pop culture, films, and the world we see. Deleted scenes, where the truth runs free. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Take care, stay strong, we're breaking the mold. Be safe, stay healthy, let the story unfold. From watch parties, reviews to the news we spin. Deleted scenes, yeah, this is how we win. Yeah, yeah. Steam out on your YouTube, bro, let's roll.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTuber Ronan. I'd like to welcome you to tonight's episode of Reserved Seats. I do want to say hello to everyone currently following along on X. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I do want to say hello to a few people who've joined us here in the live chat. Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Cleary. My partner in crime, the toxic gunslinger himself, the man who cannot be killed. The creator of After Hours Karaoke, Western Cinema Presents an Action Theater. The CEO of the Outlaw Bill Sports Network, Outlaw Bill. Scrolling down, my co-host on live from Sparkwood 21, the host of Geeky Geezers, co-host of Friday Night Last Call, Aged Boomer, Rio Aid Nation Gaming Clips is with us, friend of the channel. All right, my guest this evening is waiting patiently backstage, so let's not keep him any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe's Atmosfere.
How you doing, folks?
Right on. Fred Apartment Cloud, it's been a while. How have you been?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Had a good Father's Day. Yeah, it has been a while. God, it's been
a bit.
Half a year? Something like that? 6 months?
Something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They had... oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the last time we were on together was your last Monday night show.
Yeah. That hasn't been quite 6 months. That hasn't been quite 6 months. I did that because it's actually usually been a Tuesday night video game show.
Mm-hmm.
But I switched it to a Monday night, and I did a lot earlier because my mother moved down here with us. And that was about a year's worth. And then she fell in late February, was in rehab for a month and a half. So she went into her new digs in May. So, no, April. Actually, halfway through. Might have been the end of March. Yeah, she's been in there about 3 months solid. So, yeah. It actually wasn't as far along as we thought. It's been about 4 months, probably 4 months. I moved it back to Tuesday night because I like doing it on Tuesday night because that's kind of like my Friday. My work schedule at work, I work a 40-hour work week, but I do it in 3 days. I work 31 hours between Thursday and Friday, and I work all day Tuesday from 8 to 5 in the afternoon. So when I get off, then I got a couple of days off, and I say a couple, but because I work at night,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the resident manager at a rehab. So I'm there when the boss leaves at 5, and when they get back in the morning at 8, when the staff gets back in the morning at 8, I leave. So 15 hours on Thursday and 16 hours on Friday. So, yeah, but that's why I was doing it on Monday, and I switched it back to Tuesday shortly after that, because that's the time I like to do it. I'm a night owl. This time, I know you're up late on the East Coast. It's probably midnight. No, it's 11 o'clock out there.
Used to be midnight. I used to do the show on midnight. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah,
So
back in
yeah,
the day, last year. But yeah,
back in the day last year. Yeah.
yeah, the year before, I guess by now. Yeah,
But yeah, I'm a night owl. I like doing things late night. I really do. I don't go to bed before midnight, even when I'm at work. You know, and I have to be up at 5:30 in the morning to get the house running for the for the clients we have there. We have a residential rehab I work at. So, yeah, I run a house basically and take care of the clients, make sure they're okay, that kind of thing.
I
How
do
have
want
you
to.
been doing, sir? Your
Oh,
health good?
yeah. Well, the doctors finally gave me a clean bill of health because I went back in for the year checkup, and
Mhm.
yeah, so I seem to be out of the woods. Um, I don't know if I was ever really in the woods, but I because the pain that I was in,
Mhm.
I knew that okay, something is up here, and I got to get this looked at.
Mhm.
And they didn't find anything that time around cancer related, thank God. And they didn't find any this time around either. So yeah, I'm good to go. I feel, and this is kind of weird saying it, but it's just in this last couple of weeks, I think I've been less down on myself. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just,
Mhm.
I feel like, okay, you know what? You're not the problem here,
Mhm.
you know?
Right.
And, it's just, I have this sense of self worth that I haven't had in a while.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that because you know what? There's a lot of people out there
Yeah.
that struggle with that. I mean, like I said, I'm in the rehab business. Everybody I've ever met that's an addict,
Mm.
a lot of it has to do with low self esteem
Mhm.
because of control issues. Because they don't think that anybody can fix a problem but them. They're stuck in their own heads, and we try and get them out of that. You know, try and get them to ask for help and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Interact with your fellow human beings. Spoiler, you're supposed to interact with your fellow man. You're supposed to.
Indeed. Yeah.
So yeah, that's good to hear that you got your
Yeah,
self-esteem
because
rolling in the right direction. That's great.
yeah, because it's
Something
just
I've
like,
never struggled with. I'm not a narcissist
yeah,
by any means, but
no,
I know my worth, and yeah. Mhm.
yeah, it's just like, look, it's like, look, the people who are going to hate you or who are going to try to bring you down or who always have something negative to say, they're always going to be like that.
Yep.
And that's not on you, that's on them.
No, it's not.
So it's like,
You can only control what you can
move
control.
along. Yep.
Okay, that's it.
Very
The
true.
people that are the unhappiest in life, they're unhappy because of expectations. They're trying to control things they cannot control.
Mhm.
And you've got to, I think Clint Eastwood said it best in my favorite Dirty Harry movie, Magnum Force. Man's got to know his limitations. No doubt about
Indeed.
that. Yep. Mhm.
I do want to say hello to Enigma Severus, my co-host on the Mystery Movie Night podcast, which, folks, I know a lot of people have been asking what happened to that show. It will be returning on the 30th of June because we're finally going to get a Mystery Movie Night. What happened is that, and this is something that I learned kind of recently, is that AMC does the Mystery Night thing just about every week. But the rest of us who are on the panel, who are mostly people who are either at Regal or Marcus, we don't get them every week like that. So we're kind of like we're kind of at the we're kind of at the control of what Regal chooses to do, and we kind of have to wait. And finally, we're getting a mystery movie on the 29th. So we're back on the 30th. So it's going to be Enigma, Sin, um, hopefully Kyle,
I
and
love
our
it. I love
whole
his
kind of,
avatar, by the way. It's cool.
yeah. and our whole roundtable group of people that I hope to grow, because I got a couple of people I'm hoping to get on the show, but we'll see. I do want to say hello to the newly minted Captain Giratina. He's been promoted once again. Congratulations. All right. And Wade with a question. Joe or Deleted, would you be free at the 5 p.m. Central? I guess he means July 2nd.
It's got to mean July 2nd because
I would hope.
June 2nd was a few weeks ago, bro.
Yeah. So if it is June 2nd, yeah, I'm afraid it's going to be a no for me. But
the day of the week,
July, of course.
Let me take a look.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look.
Scheduling during a show.
Yes.
Guess what, Wade? I work every Thursday night, as I just documented. Sorry.
Oh, Thursday.
I will be at work.
Oh, if it's a Thursday.
Yeah, July 2nd.
Now that's
on
action
Thursday
theater day for me, I'm afraid. So, yeah.
Sorry, bro. You'll notice I don't stream on Thursdays, and on Friday when I do my comic book show, it's at 1:00 in the afternoon before I go to work. So, yeah, I take Thursday off from streaming, and Friday night. You know what? I tell you, the show I would love to do, and I watch it all the time. Like I said, when I lights out at our place is at 10:00 for the clients. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I've got my own room up there with a shower, television set, all that. I never use the television. I always fire up my iPad and watch YouTube while I'm relaxing up there. And I don't go to sleep before midnight. And Thursday nights, I watch my man Comics Division and his crew on Thursday Night Throwdown. I watch that. But Friday nights, I flip between a bunch of channels, but the one I'm always locked into and checking in on is Janet from Another Planet and the Shit Show. That's what she calls it, the Friday Night Shit Show. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I really love it. She is really committed to informing us what's going on, and that's a show I would love to do. And we've talked about it. She and I have talked about, we need to do a show sometime, but I don't know about you. I think you mentioned earlier that you're cutting back on some things because you're too oversaturated.
Yeah,
and, I feel that way sometimes too. It's a matter
of scheduling because it's like and Nick and I were talking about this yesterday because mm-hmm. he's been trying to get me back on Toxic Tuesday for a while now.
Man, yeah,
and
he's asked me to do it too, and I'm like, brother, I like my video game show. I do. I enjoy it.
I do. And hello to host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. I was just on Geeky Geezers with him, where we filled in for Troy and Netter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I said, Nick, because we were talking about this on my birthday show last night, mm-hmm. where Nick was able to stop by, and he did, of course.
I wish I could have, but I was tied up. I'm sorry.
No, I know. I kind of did.
Happy birthday.
I did it last minute. Yes. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And we've been talking about me coming back to Toxic Tuesday and doing an episode for a while, but it's like Tuesday is also a pretty big night for me because I'm part of this. I'm part of this kind of what we're calling kind of like the mystery night block, because of course mystery movie night, right. Live from Sparkwood 21. Twin Peaks, which at its heart is a mystery, or at least the first season and a half of it was anyway. And then of course Troy has Sherlock Holmes after that, and it's kind of you kind of have to schedule something in advance. There's something that Outlaw Bill and I are doing here in a couple of weeks that's going to fall on a Tuesday, so that might affect things. Mm-hmm. Or we are. I'm just going blatant plug. We're doing we're going to watch Aliens, the extended cut for the 40th anniversary, and so That's the plan.
I mean, I like that one better than the original. They're two different kinds of movies. The first one is a
They
horror
are.
movie, and it's a classic. It's great. I'm not diminishing the first one at all. It's fantastic.
No.
They did great things with that flick. But man, I love Aliens.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a great action movie, man. It really is.
it is. And
Game
and
over,
what
man.
was-
Game
Game
over.
over, man. Which he improvised, I understand.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that. B-Pax, R.I.P. man.
Hey, we just got done watching him. My wife and I, we binge watch different shows that we love when we're doing mindless TV during the week. You know, when we're playing on our phones or whatever, hanging in the living room. I might be playing a video game, you know, but we started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he was in the second half of the first season of that one.
Yeah.
I remember, and he was great in it. It was really good. Yeah. Rip Bill Paxton. Missed that guy. He was a fantastic actor. He really was.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to be watching that again. And one of the things that does work was I remember having to explain to guys in school that there was a previous film.
Yeah.
Like I remember a guy say, like, well, yeah, you know, I really liked it, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I thought it was about as good as the first movie was, yeah, because you know the first movie was just changed the way that I looked at cinema at the time. I was all of 5 or 6 years old, but it changed the way I looked at cinema, ladies and gentlemen. You know, yes. And yes, sitting there at 6 years old in my chair with my cigar, watching the film, being very upper, yes,
writing my review, taking notes.
Taking notes. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. Bosley Crothers on the phone. You're going to have to pause the film for a moment. You know, no. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Well, anyway, the point being is I remember the guy was like, what, original movie? What first movie? What are you talking about? You know, like,
you know,
you didn't know there was another movie?
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of people, you know, there's a few series like that they don't realize there's one before the one that's popular. I remember when Desperado came out. A lot of people didn't know there was an independent film before that called The Mariachi that Robert Rodriguez did, you know. Another one that's like that is Chronicles of Riddick. A lot of people don't even know about Pitch Black. They don't even know about that movie. You know, because Pitch Black, if you remember, is a smaller budget science fiction film, right? And Chronicles of Riddick was a huge, big budget thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people don't know about that one.
And the callback there was Pitch Black was originally intended to be an Alien film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was going to be Alien 3 at one point.
Yeah. Would have been better than what we got. Let me tell you something. People, it's funny. I do a lot with Pop Culture Minefield, and we're always talking about movies. We always get derailed and start talking about different directors and stuff. And every time the Alien franchise comes up, people are saying whether or not the later films are any good or not. And I like this one. I like that one. I said, look, guys, there's only 2 Aliens films as far as I'm concerned. I watched that third one and checked out. I have never watched another Alien film. If you make something so bad that I check out, I'm not going to watch another one of your films. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. You done ruined it for me. That movie was so bad. That third Aliens movie or Alien movie. It was so bad. It really was. I couldn't stand it. And I've never watched. I mean, they've been making them all these years. You know, I think Michael Fassbender's in one of them, isn't he?
He's
Prometheus?
in 2 of them.
Is that the name of it, or something?
He's in Prometheus, and he's
I love that guy, but I'm not watching
Covenant.
It's an Alien movie.
Yeah.
Don't care. There's only 2 Alien movies as far as I'm concerned. There's only 1 Highlander movie as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you know, it's
No, yeah. I get it. But you know, but I was the guy who I am kind of a completist when it comes to Alien, and it's almost become like a choose your own adventure at this point. You know,
I've got a guy on my panel on Wednesday nights just like that. He's like, look, you know, if I watch one of them, I got to watch all of them. I'm a completionist. I got to see them all. I'm like, okay, man, I'm just telling you, some of them are bad.
Yeah, I was the same way until I got the Covenant. And there are actors.
Like I said, I wouldn't know.
I like.
You know, you got to explain that because I wouldn't know.
All right, so basically, Covenant is the next one after the prequel film, which and by that I mean Prometheus. Okay. So it's basically the next movie afterwards, where you have these people who have gone off on their own. They're going to colonize this planet, and so the idea that the different thing is that they're couples, and that's the main thing. And James Franco, of all people, plays like the commander of this mission. He gets killed right away. He gets, spoiler alert, 5 minutes into the movie, James Franco is fucking dead. Boom.
Easiest paycheck he's ever gotten. Boom.
He gets blown up and basically blown up in his cryotube, and he burns up, and that's it, because they crash land on this planet. And to all of our delight. Yeah.
I like James Franco, man. He's all right.
I actually don't have all that much against him, to be honest.
He's from the Spider-Man franchise, and that's my number one favorite superhero. So
and when someone gets Me Too'd, I have the tendency to take that with a grain of salt, because unless something legal comes up out of it, yeah, you know. So anyway, so it's basically they crash land on this planet. They make every possible freaking mistake they can. I mean, they are like literally slipping on banana peels in that movie. I mean, they may as well be. They may as well have that zoinks kind of sound effect during all of the death scenes, because that's how fucking bad the movie is.
That's bad.
And you know, when the best thing about your Alien movie is Danny McBride,
this is
you've made a turn somewhere.
Yeah. Alien Covenant.
Yeah. Okay. Alien Covenant. Yeah. And so yeah, that movie is not good, because it's like you are so ahead of the characters in that movie. And I get it. You know, they wanted to bring in these actors where you had these kind of indie sensibilities, you know, because you have Catherine Waterston and you have
Billy Crudup,
Damien Bashir, and Billy Crudup. And
do you want to see the IMDb page? I've got it up if you want me to see it.
Well, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
And boop. There you go. Yeah, I was just looking at the cast. I like Billy Crudup.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Juicy Smollier was in this movie, and
was
they
he?
actually,
oh my God, Juicy Smollier,
and they actually got a woman on him, so yay. And he actually lasts most of the movie. I was kind of surprised.
Let's see if there's anybody else we know. No, I don't know most of these people. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the guys at the top, I definitely know that. Danny McBride, that's too funny. Wow. Yeah, Alien Covenant, huh?
Spoiler alert: they all die except Fassbender.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go, boys and girls.
Yeah. So Covenant actually was on my 10 worst. I was like, no, I can't. No, because you're just, it's like, and I think Brad Jones pretty much said it better. When you go after Prometheus the way that people did, you're not going to get a smarter movie out of that. You're going to get a dumber movie. And that's what happened.
Wow.
It's just there. It's like I said, they should just have like slip on banana peels. There's a character that dies because they like literally slip in blood.
The alien would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those
meddling kids. Exactly. and then you get Romulus. And that's where the Alien series loses me. I have watched Alien my entire life. I love those films, especially the earlier ones. Alien Romulus is where I tapped out. you know,
Well, and
you know,
once again, I wouldn't know.
yeah.
I have not seen them.
Well, it's
I tapped out at 3, my friend. No,
yes.
no more.
So what bothers me about Romulus especially is it tries to retcon the original film.
Anytime you do that, I mean, can you say Terminator Dark Fate?
Right, because here's here's what happens. Was you have this group of kids who are on this planet where they're all being used as sort of indentured servants in the mines and all of this. And of course, Wayland Yutani is up to their neck in it as usual. And so a couple of them find out that there's this Romulus space station that's over the planet, and they've decided that they're going to go there. They're going to, I don't even remember why the hell they needed to go there. Because we got to go to this Romulus space station, and then we can head off to this other planet and home, and we're free. And they get to Romulus, and among other things, there is another Ash. They CGI'd Ian Holm into Alien Romulus. This is after he had already passed. And he plays android named Rook. Because Bishop had already been used. And calling him Paul would have been too. But wait, there's more. And of course, automatically make characters on the Nostromo look stupid, because if there are multiple versions of Ash running around already, they would know he was an android right away. So they retcon that. Not only that, guess what else they do?
I wouldn't know.
The alien from the original film is not dead. And it is on board this Romulus space station.
Oh my God! So it got shot out the airlock, and it landed.
Out the airlock and out the space.
And it landed on a space station that was named after the Romulan homeworld in Star Trek. Nice.
Yes,
I like it. Good plan. So, we can put all the franchises together with this one.
Yes, and they have this. The guy who's actually the best part of the whole movie is this kid who plays this other android, who they of course call Andy. And have you ever seen The Long Walk?
No.
Okay. Anyway, he's in The Long Walk as well. The actor I'm talking about.
What's this guy's name? Maybe I've
seen David Johnson. He's a British actor, and he's pretty good in both movies. He's the best part of Romulus for sure. Mm-hmm. And so and this other character who's got to be like the worst character I've ever seen in a movie ever is this character named Bjorn, who speaks in this Cockney accent that is so heavy, I literally do not know what the hell he said.
Right.
Because
like Brad Pitt and Snatch. It's worse than the Irish. It's worse than the Irish.
Because in the whole movie, he's like, "Oh, is it? Okay, over there. Oh, fucking shite. Right, fucking android. All right." Those are the only words I can make out. I do not know what he said. And this idiot gets himself killed.
Oh my God.
Because there is like this. I'll just say it for what it looks like. There's like this alien vagina on the wall, which he literally starts poking with a stick. And it blows up in his face, and it fries his face off.
Oh, wow. Spoiler alert. It has acid for blood, you go.
Yes. And again, it doesn't work for the same reason Covenant doesn't work, because you're so far ahead of all of the characters, because you're literally going, don't walk down there. Don't walk through all the aliens. It doesn't matter if they're in 0G. They're still going to get you. Don't poke it with a stick. Right. What are you doing? I got to shut this.
Uh-oh. He went dark on me, but that's okay. We're
Yeah, my
YouTubers.
fire alarm likes to chirp. I have to run upstairs and get it every once in a while.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's just like after Covenant and Romulus. So you know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
These
Well,
characters are just too stupid now. I can't.
yeah. Like I said, I checked out after the third one. I did not like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you got two beloved characters that survived that second movie with her, and then you find out later they died off camera. Whatever, go away. You're just being dumb now. Whatever. No thanks. Appreciate it. Love you, Sigourney. I'll watch you in some other stuff.
Bill is not a fan of Romulus either. I know that. We watched it at the same time. Long story. Oh, that's normal. Yeah, the poking with
this is
the
normal.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me scroll up here. El Mariachi only cost $8,000 total. Yeah.
Well, yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure. I'd have to check the cast lists on it, but I don't think any of the actors that were in the first one were in the second one. I know that the character is portrayed by somebody else. I mean,
the guy who played the mariachi is in the second one.
He is in the second one, but he's part of Antonio Banderas' crew, right? He's one of the guys that comes and helps him out, I think.
And the guy who played Moko has who's the villain in the first movie. He has like a little cameo at the beginning of Desperado. But
it's been a while since
I
saw those movies. I loved Desperado, and then when I found out there was a first movie that was independent made by Rodriguez, I had to watch that, and it's really good for an independent film. It's fantastic. Yeah. Robert Rodriguez, he's you look at his filmography. I enjoy a lot of his stuff, man. Him and Tarantino are kind of locked at the hip because of Grindhouse, but two distinctly different guys. Both of them are into exploitation cinema, for sure. But I dig both of them. I think Robert has done some fantastic stuff, and he's done something that Tarantino hasn't. He's worked in the kids genre a little bit too, with Spy Kids, and stuff like that. So, I dig Robert Rodriguez. I love the stuff he does. I really do.
Indeed. And let's see. Enigma also says El Mariachi did a lot of filming in public with no authorization, and it has that feel to it too. Yeah. And that's one of the things I like about it. It has that energy of. And there's another movie like that that's a Chinese film called Chungking Express that has the same feeling to it. We're going to go out in the middle of the street, no authorization. We're just going to shoot it.
Just shoot it.
And it's like, shoot it, get out of here. We got to run. You
get real reactions out of the public with it, right?
You do, yeah. In both movies, because you got scenes of, in both the movies of like characters running around with guns in public, firing around, and all these like chases and stuff like that. But yeah, it's I like it quite a bit.
Well, a lot of them have to start out that way.
They do,
because they can't afford things.
Yeah.
I love listening to if you ever get your hands on the stuff with the special features for Terminator, the original one. There's a thing where Cameron and Arnold sit down and they're talking about how they were like escaping and evading filming. They're like, for instance, the scene where they actually got the cops called on them. Whenever the scene where he steals the station wagon. He walks up, puts his fist through the damn thing, and Jimmy's the ignition, and then takes off with it. Right? They didn't have any authorization for that, and they did it in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so somebody's like, somebody's stealing cars.
Right? It's pretty funny. But when you're starting out, that's why I'm sure every channel's talked about this point. I'm finally getting a chance to go see it tomorrow night. I'm so happy for the guys that made Obsession. I just checked tonight. It's still in double-digit millions.
Yeah.
This is 6 weeks later, and it still is. It was number 3 on the box office this weekend, even though Toy Story's killing it. Toy Story worldwide made 312 deleted scenes. million
Already?
this weekend in 3 days.
Wow.
Yes. 312 worldwide, 160, I think, in the States.
Oh, the 160 was just here?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
It'll make $1 billion.
Obsession is one of these movies that didn't cost much to make at all. And it did one of those rare things where it made a certain amount the first week and then it went up 2 weeks in a row, not 1 week in a row, 2 weeks in a row. They haven't seen anything like this out of a small film since the Blair Witch Project. Okay. You remember that one when it came out? It was all the rage, you know. But I'm finally going to get to see it tomorrow night. This is the thing. Since the turn of the century, I haven't been able to keep up with the horror genre for 2 reasons. One, if you remember around 2000, that's when they started doing the Japanese, the American remake of the Japanese horror movies, like The Ring, The Grudge, that kind of thing. And I really wasn't into that at all. That's about the time Saw started too. That franchise started around the turn of the century too. And my partner that I watched horror movies with was my daughter. And this is when she left for Texas, was right around that time. And I just didn't have anybody to watch horror movies with anymore. My wife will not watch them. She's got an entire wall dedicated to the friggin' Walking Dead over here. But she won't watch Freddy, Jason, Mike Myers. She won't watch any of the slasher movies, you know. But she loves Hannibal Lecter and The Walking Dead, but she won't watch any of the horror movies. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I do have a friend. He and I, we went to school together. We're the same age, and he happens to work at the comic book shop that I go to and pick up my Spider-Man comic books at. And whenever I really want to see a horror movie, the last one we went and saw was Nosferatu a couple of years ago around Christmas time. And when I really want to see a horror movie, that's the guy I call. And we've been playing phone tag for a couple of weeks. I finally got a hold of him Thursday night, I think, when I was going to work. And I said, look, I'll buy the tickets. I'll pick you up, whatever, you know. And he's like, yeah, I'm down. I heard about it. Sounds cool. We'll go. I was like, all right. So I'm finally going to get to see it. Looking forward to it too. I hear it's great. I hear the girl in it just knocks it out of the park.
Oh, you know? Yeah. She's fantastic.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
I have.
Oh man. Is it good? Am I going to enjoy it?
Very. It is. It is. There's a lot to chew on.
Ah, that's good.
In it. Yeah.
Good. The last horror movie I watched was Weapons, and enjoyed the shit out of that.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, it's really good. Yep.
Absolutely.
He said, agreed. We need a sequel to that. Enigma says. Nosferatu.
He's talking about Alita Battle Angel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that one. I didn't see it in the theater because I'm not, you know, I recognize anime and manga as a legit art form. I mean, our good buddy Comic Relief Crusader is working on his own rag. He has a show he does every Sunday afternoon called Huge Circles. And I always check in on that, say how he's doing on that. I just, you know, I don't watch much animated stuff anymore. But this was based on a manga, if I'm correct, guys. Am I right about that? Alita Battle Angel?
It was,
and he tried to make it look like an anime, you know. And I think he did a good job with it. But I didn't run to the theater to see it because I didn't know it was based on a manga. I really had no idea what it was. And I watched it at home, and yeah, that you know, it's one of those things you never know with these movies. And I think a lot of it has to do with how they market it. Really, because if you remember, one of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen, and Disney could have had their own just knock it out of the park franchise with it, was Taylor Kitsch's John Carter. And I mean, it just wasn't. If they'd have just named the movie John Carter of Mars, people would have known what it was.
Yeah.
But one thing that happened that a lot of people don't know about is they were so, you know, Iger was so trying to get his hands on Star Wars, he pulled all the friggin' promotion budget for that film to go to put it into the pot for Star Wars.
Well, he
And
didn't understand what he had.
yeah, didn't know what he had because if
yeah.
you guys have seen it in the chat, or if you have not seen John Carter, watch that movie. It is fantastic.
I like it. Yeah.
It's got a great cast. I love Willem Dafoe as the four-armed guy. You know, he did the voice for that guy. He's awesome in that movie. That whole thing was fantastic. But, you know, I think a lot of these movies fail because of the marketing. Another one that was just recently in the last couple of years, I show it to the clients all the time. I love movies, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny when you were talking about seeing Alien when you were 6. We were joking about you making notes and stuff. I've listened to Jaws more than I've seen it. Because when I was a kid, that movie came out, 75, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was 10. And I got the hand-me-downs of the tech my dad wasn't using anymore. So I recorded the movie when it came out on television. I recorded the movie with an 8-track tape player. And I used to listen to it on a loop. I listened to Jaws more than I ever saw it. You know, because I love that movie. It's still, to this day, my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. But I got kind of sidetracked there. These movies, I think that the one that I show the clients a lot, and I just showed it to them this weekend. I love entertaining them with movies. Was The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. That movie's fantastic. It really is. It's got everything. It's got a love story. It's got comedy. It's got real life stunts, which I know you guys don't know me too well, and that's the whole point of the show is you get to know Deleted Scenes friends. I'm a huge Burt Reynolds fan, a Hal Needham fan. David Leitch, the guy that directed Fall Guy, is an ex-stuntman. I love stunts and real stunts and stuntmen. I love what they do. I think it's awesome. They should give out Oscars for it. I don't know why they don't. They should have a best stunt of the year at least every year at the Oscars. I mean,
I think they're going to in a couple.
They need to.
Yeah.
They need to. I'm a big proponent of it. But that movie right there, I don't know that they knew how to market it. You know what I mean? Because us old bastards like you and me know that that's loosely based on the Lee Majors television show from the early 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one he did after the $6 Million Man, where he's a stunt man and a bounty hunter on the side. And that's what it's loosely based on. But it's a fantastic movie. And they didn't market it well at all, you know?
No.
Yeah. And so it hurt at the box office. A lot of it has to do with marketing. And God, these days you got people like Millie Alcock out there torpedoing your movie because she's too busy getting messed up and not paying attention to what she says. Let me take that back. Half the time I think they send them out there with talking points. And they talked about this on Friday Night.
I think so too. Absolutely.
They talked about this on Friday Night Tights with Dean Cain the other day.
Yeah, I caught part of that.
Dean Cain was the guest on it, and I don't usually get to see it, but I was watching it while Dean Cain was on it the first hour. And they asked him outright, look, are they giving these people marching orders? Because he goes, yes, they are. They get coached a lot when they're going on press tours and red carpet events. They are told what to say. That's why a lot of the times it sounds like they're saying the same thing over and over again. He said, yes, they are getting marching orders, you know. So I don't know if it's her, because I was hyped when I found out and once again, I'm a Supergirl fan, huge Supergirl fan. I was hyped for this when I heard she was cast because I watched her in House of the Dragon. She was great in that show. I like her better than the chick that's playing the older version of her now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but man, they are doing everything they can to torpedo this thing. It's a shame. It's a shame. Last week they said that they cut 25 minutes out of it. So that
yes,
I think I mean they're just having a hard time with this flick. And I think it's going to end. I told people this on my own show. I said, Superman The first time I watched it, I didn't like it because it wasn't a Superman movie. It was a Justice Gang movie. If they didn't named it Justice Gang, I probably would have enjoyed it better. Because when I showed it to the clients about a year later, or not a year later, a couple months later, when I had bought it, they're normies. They don't know anything about the comic books, a lot of them, and they enjoyed it, right? And I actually enjoyed it more the second time around, knowing what I was in for. Okay. But really, when you look at it, Superman, the last one that came out last summer, that's Guardians of the Galaxy 4, Saving Crypto. And this summer, we're going to get Guardians of the Galaxy 5, Saving Crypto again. So, kind of bummed about it, man. I'm hoping I'm wrong. And what's messing me up is if you watch the trailers, they put out 3 trailers now. And every time they put more of the stuff of her in the suit fighting, right? And I love that stuff. It looks fantastic. But we're going to have about 5 minutes of it at the end of the movie. I got to feel. And it's just dumb.
Probably. Like, because it's like, one of the headlines that they threw out there is that, Supergirl's a cross between Mad Max and John Wick. And I'm like,
yeah, that's coming out of the yeah, they lifted the embargo Thursday, and that's when we got our first reviews, and every one of them was saying the same shit. Now, what you guys may or may not know is whenever they release the embargo early, that's so they can get the shills out there. They're trying to help it because they know they got problems. And how many reviews said it comes off like Mad Max? What else did they say about it, man? Look, you watch these reviews, a lot of them say the same things. And it's
exactly the same things too. Yeah. And that's the troubling part.
It's almost like that meme from a couple of years ago where they showed all the channels saying the same shit, on the news. Yeah, it's I don't have high hopes, but it looks like to me it's going to be just like Superman. What do you remember from Superman? I know what I remember from Superman is Mr. Terrific, and I wanted to see more of him, right? Which is not good for your movie named Superman. This one, I got a feeling everybody's going to be talking about Lobo.
Yeah.
And that's not good for your Supergirl movie,
Yeah.
So.
And I never got around to Superman, but it just sounds to me like Lois, Mr. Terrific, and Guy Gardner go off on an adventure while Superman is crying in the corner holding his dog. That's what it sounded like to me. And I'm like, I'm that's not the movie I signed on for.
Right, yeah. And that's the thing. It's James Gunn is really good, and he showed this with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. There's no doubt about it. It's a great trilogy. The worst one is the second one, and when I say worst, it's still a good movie with Kurt Russell playing the big bad as his dad, right? Ego. If I was going to rank those movies, I'd say the original, then the third one with the Rocket Raccoon story, and then the second one last. But that formula of taking a bunch of misfits and throwing them together and having them work together and stuff, and it doesn't work for everything, and it definitely doesn't work for Superman. He is not part of a team. Not unless you're making a Justice Gang movie or a Justice League movie. It's becoming obvious he's a one-trick pony, and if that's the case, love your stuff, James, but you need to stay away from certain properties, and Superman's one of them. And I will tell you this about the film: you haven't seen it. David Cornsweet is good as Superman. He is good. And Lois, good. The girl that plays Lois Lane, I can't remember her name, but she looks like she's ripped right out of the comic book. She's fantastic. But they're not in the movie enough. Superman and his girlfriend, Lois Lane, are in the movie maybe 30 minutes. The rest of the time, it's all Lex Luthor and the Justice Gang. You know?
Wow.
And it's funny. I mean, you know, who doesn't like the guy that plays Guy Gardner? I mean, everybody wanted to see him play Hal Jordan when he was young, right? Yeah. Nathan Fillion, right? Everybody loves him. Firefly and all that stuff. And he's great, but that's not what I went to see. I went to see Superman. You know, as bad as Superman Returns is, at least it was an ode to the Christopher Reeve Superman. You know, I mean, it's got lines that are ripped right out of that movie. I mean, what killed that movie was the whole deadbeat Superman being a deadbeat dad thing. That was just, it was horrible.
Well, that's what they were doing then. Was the whole bad. Yeah.
But this right here, the Superman movie, there's a scene in it, and once again, you remember in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, you've got the scene where Yondu whistles his way to killing everybody on the ship that was trying to stop him from doing what he wanted to do, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got that same scene in Superman with Mr. Terrific. That's why everybody remembers him. He puts Lois in a shield to protect her, and then he whips everybody's ass with his Mr. Terrific spheres. And it is great. It is really one of the coolest action scenes you'll ever see. But when I was watching, I was like, okay, there's Yondu whistling his way to killing everybody on the ship right there. It's the same thing. He's become a one-trick pony, and it's a shame. I mean, Peacemaker season 1 was good television. It wasn't the greatest thing, but it fit his wheelhouse. It was good. Boy, that second season, it was so bad, man. Ugh, it was horrible. Horrible. I didn't even finish it. It got so bad. So, yeah, he's gone off the rails. I think Man of Tomorrow is probably going to be the last thing he does. It's supposed to come out next summer, I think, with him and Lex working together against Brainiac, I think. We're probably going to see Brainiac in this at some point, too, because they're telling the Kandor story, if you know anything about that. The bottled city of Kandor. And so I'm not a big expert on DC Comics or anything, but
no, me either, because when they said who the villain of Supergirl is supposed to be, well, it's Crumb of the Yellow Hills, and I'm like, the fuck is that?
Who?
Well, who?
Who?
Yeah, I still don't get it, but I guess he's supposed to be some kind of, and the thing is, he does not look in the film the way he looks in the comic, like at all.
He looks like Zed from friggin' Pulp Fiction's what he looks like. Or the Gimp that's in Zed's shop. Yeah, that's what he looks like. Looks like some kind of BDSM guy with friggin' rivets all in his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing they don't understand. The movie's only as good as your villain. Your villain has to be good. Let me tell you, here's another one that I don't think that they marketed correctly. We went and saw, me and Foxy went and saw Masters of the Universe. And that's a good movie. I was getting kind of hyped for it because it gave me kind of Flash Gordon vibes. And you see the movie, and sure enough, Brian May's doing all the guitar work on the soundtrack. He doesn't write the soundtrack. Another guy did, but he does all the guitar work on it. And they actually use the song Princes of the Universe from Highlander in it at one point. They definitely wanted to grab that 80s feel to it. And, I thought they did great. It was a fun movie. It's not the greatest movie I ever saw, but it's not as bad as people made it out to be. I mean, I'm sure everybody saw Tom Connors lose his mind over it, and he has every right to. He's a big He-Man fan, but I'm a normie when it comes to He-Man because I just didn't get into that. I thought it was kind of weird anyway. And Jared Leto, who is usually box office poison, just knocked it out of the park as Skeletor, man. He's awesome. He went over the top with that shit. It was great. He was really good. He's the best thing in the movie. Skeletor is. And but it just wasn't marketed well. They leaned too much into, and you know, when Tom reviewed it, he said this is woke garbage and blah blah blah. Well, they lean into the comedy of what woke is. You know what I mean? He's a human resources guy here on Earth, and he's having to deal with this politically correct boss that's just so passive aggressive. It's not even funny, you know. And it really makes fun of the woke stuff, you know, and it's pretty funny.
And I think that's kind of another trap that Hollywood has kind of thrown themselves into, is now they got to be careful. They've made things so woke that they now have to be careful how they make fun of woke, because people will just look at it and say, well, it's woke.
Yeah.
Even if it's making fun of it, it is, you know. And I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. I wasn't hyped for it to begin with, to be honest. But, you know, so to me, it's kind of a mixed bag going in, you know. I can either, it just struck me as the kind of movie it's just going to go in one ear and out the other with me.
Really?
And it's just like, I see enough of that, and it's going to get lost in the shelf. So just,
and some movies are like that for
whatever,
people.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because I'm starting to see this other thing start to happen now. And this is the trap that I was so worried that we were going to fall into, is, yes, there's a woke left. There's also a woke right. And I don't want even politics that I agree with shoved down my throat. I just want to be entertained.
Just entertain me, man.
And anything that has any kind of whiff that I'm not going to enjoy this thing because of something political, I'm just going to ignore it. You know, and it might be a good film. It might be, you know. It's a shame. And that's why I'm glad that movies like Obsession and Backrooms and Markiplier's movie, which I just saw, are out there now.
Iron Lung? Is that the name?
Iron Lung, yeah. You know, so so I'm glad that they're there, because it's like, these are guys who remembered that it is, and there are people who say there's woke stuff in Backrooms. I saw it. I didn't see anything woke, but fine. If you want to go ahead and think so, think so. But it's like, okay, you've got some filmmakers out there who get it, and even Curry Barker even said it, you know, there's no agenda in Obsession. At least he wasn't going for any anyway. He was just, his thought was, make an entertaining movie first.
Yeah.
Because people love movies and they want to see good movies, and they're not going to spend money on a bad one.
Right.
You know, Ryan Gosling, and I love that he said this, and I did a whole show about it. And he at the Hail Mary premiere, you know,
clip. I showed it on my show too. Yeah. It was very nice. He pulled a Tom Cruise.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You know,
just to paraphrase, guys, if you don't know what he's talking about, he said, it's great to see you guys in the theater. It is not your job to support the theater. It's our job to show something to get you in here.
Yes.
And it was a great statement. It was awesome. Yeah.
And
very good.
And I'm glad to see that there are some people out there who are finally who understand that, you know.
Yeah. There are guys out there that get it, you know. I'll never forget going to see Top Gun Maverick, man. Tom Cruise was sitting in a theater chair at the beginning of it saying, hey, this is for the fans. I hope you enjoy it, you know. And I'm just looking at Outlaw Bill's statement there. He says, movies today really just suck so bad. All just big piles of shiza. That's what he's saying, to say it nicely. There are good movies out there, buddy. and sometimes you have to look in the independent ranks. I
Yeah.
remember I'm lucky enough to have a an independent movie house in town here. It's called the Robinson Film Center. My wife was just there the other night. I finally became a member after years of saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Went and laid down $100 to make her and I members. It's an independent nonprofit. They give out a film prize, the Louisiana Film Prize. They give out every year for independent filmmakers. They have a competition for that. They show all the independent films, the foreign films. They show old movies. That's where I showed my daughter Jaws for the first time in a big theater. She was in her 20s. It was hilarious. I said, Jaws is showing. I'm gonna take you to go see it. This was about 20 years ago. And she goes, Dad, I've seen that. I said, you haven't seen it in a dark movie theater. I'm telling you, on a big
No.
screen. You need to come watch this movie with me. And we went, and she, when we walked out, I said, what do you think of it now? She goes, yeah, that's a totally different movie in the theater. That was scary. I said, yep. Mm-hmm. Even if you've seen it before, it's shocking to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm lucky enough to have that. And Bill, don't get, what do they call it? Is it red pilled? Or black pilled or whatever. There are good stuff out there. You just gotta pick and choose your battles with it. I go see mostly everything because I feel like I can't comment on it unless I see it. So, kind of like Culture Casino says, I went and saw this movie, so you don't have to, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But here recently, a lot of people are talking about how bad Disclosure Day was. I went and saw it. It's okay. It's not Spielberg's best. It's very, these guys that have been making great movies, Ridley Scott, and they're torpedoing their careers now by making sequels they don't need to make and movies they don't need to make. There's another guy, I can't remember who it was. We were talking about this the other day, but Spielberg now is in those ranks. He needs to just retire. I mean, he's not paying attention to the details now. You know what I mean? And it really makes his kind of movies suffer. The action set pieces were good. I love Colin Firth. He was good. I love Emily Blunt. She was fantastic. The guy that was playing the main protagonist, he come off like an idiot. I don't know if he really wanted him to sound like an idiot, but he really did seem like a moron.
Yeah, I've got problems with that guy anyway.
But the thing that really I'm like, Spielberg, just put it down. Just step away, because his politics started showing in it. And he's not done that in the past. On his big movies, he wasn't doing anything like that, there's one part in it. Well, he said before the movie came out, it was going to make Christians question their faith. Now, I'm a Christian. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm by no means a Bible thumping. You don't hear me doing all that, but I am a believer. And he says this about his movie, and then he's got a character who's a nun in it that's reinforcing to this girl that had lost her faith that yes, there could be life on other planets. There's nothing wrong with that. Basically reinforcing her faith in the movie. I thought it was a great part of the movie, and then I remembered what he said. And I was like, what are you talking about, man? Are you trying to throw people off the scent or something? Because you just reinforced it in your own movie that it's possible that there is a God and he created everything. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But the thing that really freaked me out, there's a scene in it, and this isn't spoilers. I mean, they show a lot of footage that has been, kept under wraps. And one of them, it's great, man. It's a camera shot behind a pilot's head, and he's flying past this triangle thing. You see it in the trailer, and on the big screen, it looks freaking awesome. But then there's another part. They show the Roswell incident, and they show guys in hazmats pulling these bodies out, and they're paying respect to them, and they're pulling them out on stretchers. And then later on, they're showing another crash, and this alien's alive, and they just prop him up against a friggin' cargo box. Like he's a lump of clay or something. And I'm like, dude, they wouldn't do that. They'd have guys in hazmat suits going in there and collecting them and stuff, you know?
Hmm.
They'd have armed guards there. They wouldn't just shove them aside like it's a suitcase. You know, it didn't make any sense to me, you know? My wife, however, who is a normie, walks out of this thing, loved it, loved every minute of it. It was so funny. There's a line in it where the nun is reinforcing to this girl, and she's the protagonist's girlfriend, and she's telling her, "Look, if God just made all of this, the universe, for just us, it's a pretty big waste of space, right?" And my wife grabbed me by the arm. She goes, "I've been saying that for my whole life," you know, because she's a believer in this stuff, you know. And she was energized when she walked out of the theater. So, but some people don't pay attention to the smaller shit like that. Like Coleman Domingo has a line, and it's in the trailer. Like I said, none of this is spoilers. He says to Colin Firth's character that this 79 terrorist campaign has to end. I'm like, they're just trying to keep it quiet. It's not a terrorist campaign. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what's that even supposed to mean?
Yeah, that line bothered me in the trailer.
I was like, what in the
what? You know, yeah.
You know, yes, he's trying to keep it under wraps, you know, but what the hell? Yeah, it's goofy. Yeah, but it's not as bad as some of the other stuff he's done in his career. You know, it's okay. I gave it a 7 out of 10, but it's just because I didn't like the protagonist, and it was so. Like I said, he wasn't paying attention to the details. But Emily Blunt knocks it out of the park. She's fantastic. She's great in everything she's in, though. You know, she really is a very underrated actor in my book. And Colin Firth, it doesn't get any better than that guy. He's an Academy Award winner, and that doesn't mean anything these days. But I really enjoy his stuff. I've always liked him.
There was a time when it meant something, you know.
There was a time when it meant something. Yeah.
Before it was completely political, like it is now.
People are starved for the truth. So stupid. Yeah, we're not starved for the truth. Some of us dig for the truth, right, Enigma? And that's what I tell everybody. I don't know if I've ever told you this, deleted, but when I first got out of the Army, I was a military policeman for 3 years, straight out of high school, so I could earn some college money, right? They had a really good college fund back then. This was from 83 to 86. And the first thing I studied in college, I wanted to be one of those truth seekers. I wanted to be Woodward Bernstein. I wanted to be a reporter. And I started studying communication journalism. And I learned back then, in the winter of 87, my second semester, that every bit of news you're seeing is slanted. Every bit of it. And everybody's aware of this now. But it didn't start recently, guys. It's been going on forever. Forever. Ever since somebody turned on a camera, they've been feeding you a slant when they're showing you news. And you've got to pick and choose the facts out of it. The reason why I say this, I was walking, me and my buddy, we were both in the Army. And by the way, I wouldn't suggest you take a night class with a friend that you used to be in the Army with, because you end up not going to class a lot of time because you're drinking as a young man. But we're walking up the steps of the student center, and there's a local reporter there with a cameraman, and she waved us over. And we walked over there, and she said, "Can we ask you some questions?" I said, "Yeah, sure." She sticks the microphone in my face, and she says, "How do you feel about?" Well, she says, "How do you feel about President Reagan's cuts to higher education?" Sticks the microphone in my face. I said, "Well, me and my buddy here, we joined the Army so we could get college money, so it really doesn't affect us." And she took the microphone away, looked at her cameraman, and did the slash throat thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she did not know that I was studying communications journalism, right? And I looked at her, I said, "Are we done? You don't want to talk to me anymore?" She goes, "No, we're done. Thank you." And I said, I'm sitting there And I looked at her. I said, "Now wait a minute. I'm taking journalism here, and they're telling us we're supposed to be objective and cover every side of a story. You don't want to talk to me anymore?" And she actually said this to me. She goes, "No, we're just looking to talk to people that are getting hurt by it." That's what she said to me. And this was in the winter of 1987, in like January of 87. The winter semester had just started. So, boys and girls, when you're watching CNN, you're getting your news slanted a certain way. Get the facts out of it and then check some other sources. Okay?
Yeah.
When you're watching Fox News, it's the same way. It's slanted the other direction. Okay? Pick and choose the facts out of it and double check everything. Be a smart consumer of the news. I do every once in a while when my brother and I usually, I did the chat driven stream tonight because, like I said, he's visiting his son in Pennsylvania. But usually we do a show where we cover the week's headlines. And if I see one so bad that I have to talk about it, I'll make it my final word about misleading headlines. I hate that shit. And they do it just for clickbait. You know what I mean? It's horrible, some of the stuff they write in a headline just to get you to read it. The headline would be telling you one thing, and then you read the article, and it's completely just a different story than what the headline told you. It's just stupid. You got to be aware of that stuff, guys. Got to be aware of it.
Indeed. There's a question in the chat. Did you like the film Don't Look Up?
Yes, I did like that one, Outlaw Bill. And you know what? Hilarious. Hilarious because it could happen. I could definitely see him saying that. As polarizing as things are now, if you haven't seen that movie, guys, watch it. It's funny. But remember, it's a dark comedy. Remember that going in. That's another one I don't think was really marketed that well. You don't really know what you're walking into when you watch that movie. It is a comedy at its heart. It's almost like, I don't know if you'd agree with me about this, Outlaw Bill. Let them know in the chat if you agree with me. It's almost like watching Idiocracy from back in the day with what's his name, Luke Wilson, Owen Wilson's brother. Have you seen that one? It's almost like watching that. Yeah. It's yeah. And the scary thing is, the people that vote buy into this stuff half the time. So, yeah. But those of us that are trying to help out, our good host here is always talking about this is how we win. The way you win is you get educated. You look into things. Don't just trust what they're telling you. Okay? Look into it yourself. Find out for yourself. And this is the one that drives me at the wall. And I was taught this in journalism school back in 1986. Get two good sources. Don't just buy the first thing you read. My stepson, God love him, he put something up on Facebook like 5 years ago that Hillary Clinton was finally going to prison. She was getting arrested. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Let me look at this. I started looking it up and I couldn't find anything about it. I said, buddy, you've been hoodwinked, my friend. Check that. Yeah, he says, yes, absolutely. Yes, I agree. Yeah. It's that kind of movie. You watch that movie and you go, and it's kind of scary because you're like, that could happen. That could happen. Have you seen that one? Deleted Scenes?
I have not.
Oh, dude, watch that. DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. Who else is in that movie? Outlaw Bill. It's good. It was a Netflix movie. Yeah.
All right. I do want to get to a few things. So I start off in the chat here.
Sure.
Ningham says, Alien 3 was somewhat poor. I enjoyed Prometheus. I thought it was pretty good. I like Prometheus too. I think that's an underrated movie. Because it was one of those movies that was trying to ask a question, not answer it. I thought it meant well. I understand the people who don't like it because you don't really get the quote unquote the alien until the very end. But yeah, I like Prometheus. Alien 3 is a movie that I have very mixed feelings about. I liked it at the time because I was in a very dark place. I was in my kind of dark noir, I don't give a fuck, kind of part
Right.
of my life. And I'm away from that now. But at that time, I was very aimless and didn't know what to do with myself. And so I was leaning towards darker material. So it didn't bother me at the time, but now I can look back on it and see that it was um and especially now that I know a lot of what was going on behind the scenes on that film is you have the script being basically changed daily. You have the actors throwing their own 2 cents in. You have you got multiple producers, all of them trying to write and direct a film. It wasn't Fincher's movie. He's disowned it. There was a lot going on. And I'm surprised we got a movie out of it at all, despite of what anybody's opinions of it might be. I'm surprised that we got a completed film, period, out of it. Because there was so much going on behind the scenes.
Mhm.
Enigma says Covenant was horrible and dumb. Yeah, I agree. The most horrible decisions were made in that movie. There were like a guy actually sticking his face into one of the eggs because some robot tells him to do it.
What?
That's how Billy Crudup dies. He
Oh,
sticks his fucking head into the damn egg and gets face huggered. Yeah. And then that's when they started fucking around with like the time period of the gestation period of the aliens because it like pops right out of them like almost immediately.
damn.
Bad film.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they lost it. They lost
Yeah.
their chance to show me one after the third one.
There's no way that Fassbender was able to get a new body and get rid of Numira Pace. No way. Yeah, they killed her off screen. So spoiler alert: Fassbender's the only one who survives Prometheus as well, even though he's just a head, and he somehow puts himself back together again. Let's see. Enigma says an uncommon space movie is Moon from 2009. Sam Rockwell, really good movie.
I've
Kind of
heard.
mystery,
I need
pretty
to.
good.
I need
I've
to
heard
fit that
that's
in
good.
sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Sam Rockwell. I love everything he does.
Mhm.
That's another underrated actor right there. He's really good.
And Connie says she likes the original Nosferatu. Indeed.
Yeah.
Very good film.
I like the remake too. The remake was good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enigma says Scarlet from this year. Just mentioned this evening is an anime film. It's based on Hamlet. Pretty good movie. Not too bad. Okay.
Yeah, they've been making a lot of anime movies, over classic material. I did watch one a couple of years ago because I saw the trailer and loved the song that they were singing. It's a movie called Belle. It's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast in modern times with social media influences and stuff. And it's an anime, and the music in it is fantastic, man. It's a really good movie. Highly recommend that one. Belle, if you haven't seen that one, check it out.
All right. There is a question for you. What do you think of the Evil Dead franchise?
I never got into that one because I didn't see the first one. The first Evil Dead movie I saw was Army of Darkness. I was watching it with my stepson, who is a big fan. I like Sam Raimi's stuff. He gets a little repetitive sometimes. Sometimes I just think he's going for shock value, but I do. If I sat down and watched them, I'm sure I would enjoy them. I watched Drag Me to Hell not too long ago for the first time, and it didn't really scare me. It made me laugh. I don't know if he was trying to make us laugh with that one, but it was cracking me up.
Yeah.
But he'll always have a special place in my heart because of the original Spider-Man trilogy. And, even though 3 is a really bad movie, I've always argued that the third movie, that Spider-Man trilogy of his, if you'd have ended that movie where Eddie Brock gets the symbiote, just stopped it right there, and then gave Venom the next movie, that it would have been a much better movie. Watch that again sometime. It goes completely off the rails after Venom is born. Once Venom is born, it goes completely off the rails. And he's already said since that they forced him to put Venom in that movie at the end of it. He just wanted to do the Goblin and Sandman parts, and they made him put Venom in the end of that. So that's why it goes off the rails. He's doing something he doesn't want to do,
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the Evil Dead franchise, I really couldn't give you an opinion. I love Army of Darkness. I love Bruce Campbell. My favorite Raimi movie, by the way, is the superhero movie he made before he started making Spider-Man, which is Darkman. I love the original Darkman. I've never watched the sequels. I hear they're really bad, but that first Darkman, that's my favorite cameo by Bruce Campbell too. Do you remember where his cameo is in that movie?
He's at the end.
He's the face that he puts on
the end.
so he can evade his girlfriend so she doesn't follow him. Yeah. I'm everyone. I'm no one. I'm Darkman.
Okay.
You hear that, and then you hear the end of Spider-Man, and it sounds almost exactly the same. This is my gift. This is my curse. I'm Spider-Man. Yeah.
Bill has a question for you. Who is your favorite Superwoman to date?
Superwoman? Well, you must be talking about Supergirl. Superwoman and Supergirl are two different things. Superwoman actually on Earth 3 is Wonder Woman, the evil version, by the way. But my favorite Supergirl so far is Helen Slater. But it depends on what you're talking about. Comic book accurate look, Helen Slater. And her attitudes and stuff in the movie, yeah, that's the 70s Supergirl. Now, my favorite versions of Supergirl have been since then, the pissed off teenager. The thing you got to remember about Supergirl is she remembers Krypton and she's mad it's gone. She is not happy that it's gone. She loved her home planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kal-El don't know any of that shit. He was a baby and all he knows is Earth. That's why Superman is so human. Okay? That is more of the storytelling in the 90s and then the current Supergirl comics and stuff. The best character portrayal of her so far in the movies has been Sasha Calle's Supergirl in the Flash movie. It was spot on. She looks like Superwoman, okay, but the costume and the haircut and everything, but character-wise, that is her. That is Kara Zor-El, no doubt. That was when I saw that in the theater. I was like, wow, because I knew the movie was going to bomb. Because we knew at that time that kind of like what we know about the Gunverse right now, that it's probably going to fail in the long run. Right? We already know this. We knew by the time the Flash came out that they were just trying to get some of the money back when they put it out because Zack Snyder's Snyderverse was gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And wow, what a shame, because I'd love to see more of that Supergirl, because that is just like the comic books. That character in that movie, Sasha Calle knocked it out of the park playing that character. She really did.
All right. And Qapla' to our resident Klingon, Mark Mounikoff. Good to see you, sir. Unfortunately, we do have to begin wrapping it up right about here because I got to get everybody over to Troy's Doctor Who show and the conclusion of the Daleks Invasion Earth storyline from season 2 with the true first Doctor, William Hartnell. All right, so Joe, what do you have coming up?
Well, the next time you guys will see me, if you're up at 10 a.m. Central Time, going to be on Pop Culture Minefields channel. We're doing the 1997 miniseries, The Odyssey, with
Armando Sante.
Armando Sante. It's the show is usually a Military Monday show, and they're putting this on Military Monday, getting ready for the Odyssey movie to come out. So, yeah, we'll be talking about that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefield. I'll be on That 70s Rock Fans channel at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow while he plays some Expedition 33. And the next time you'll see me on my channel is Tuesday night for the video game show. We're going to be playing some more Fable 3. I've got a playthrough that I haven't finished on that yet, so we're going to do part 9 of that playthrough as Jed and Lunatic and Martin heckle me from the cheap seats as I have a cocktail after a long day's work and play a video game. Thanks for having me, Deleted. Always good hanging out with you, man. Always.
Thanks for taking time out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. As for myself, of course, I'll be in the chat over on Troy's channel here in just a few moments, watching along on Cosme with the rest of the gang. And, of course, if you're a member of Troy's channel, there's a Last Call Members Night at the Movies. I'm going to be on the panel for that program. All I know is it's a movie from 1986. That is all I know. So
could be good, could be bad. We don't know.
Yeah. And hello to FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Good to see you, sir. One of my latest channel members as well. Let's see. Tuesday, of course, from Spark 21 at 8:30. I'm going to be joining Bid for Action Theater, 5:30 p.m. on Thursday. We're going to be watching Conan Barbarian.
Ooh.
And 1982, Arnold, you're the best. Yes. And later on that night is going to be my program Coming Attractions, where you get to find out what I'm going to be doing the week after next, up to and including my appearance this upcoming Friday night at 8 p.m. On Big Al's channel, Films with Friends. And we're going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be watching a made-for-TV movie from the 70s, the 1974 version of Wonder Woman.
Wow,
with,
okay.
Kathy Lee Crosby.
Where she doesn't even look like Wonder Woman. She's blonde.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I know that.
Indeed.
One. Heck yeah.
And, of course, the villain, played by Ricardo Montalban, Khan himself.
Yes.
Yes. So,
man, that brings back
that's
memories.
That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah. That girl is hot, too. What is that girl's name that plays her? Hang on. I'm looking it up right now. There she is. 1974.
Kathy Lee Crosby. Yeah.
Is that her name? Yeah.
Yeah.
God, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Doesn't even look like Wonder Woman, guys. The Stars and Stripes are there on the poster, but wow.
Yeah. It's going to be a different take for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun movie, though. You'll enjoy it, guys. You will.
Indeed.
It's good. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Joe, any last words before we wrap it up?
Nah, man. Just you guys be good. And until we see you again, you keep on keeping on, folks. Keep doing it. And look, keep your chin up, guys. All right? Be glass half full. Trust me. It's always darkest before the dawn. Everything going to be all right. Don't worry about it.
And, of course, as I always say at the end of every broadcast, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe and healthy, because this is how we win. We're going to do a hard out, get everybody over to Troy's channel, welcome him back from the con. So, here we go.
That's all, folks.